Good evening and thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. We begin as we are tracking several wildfires burning across the inland northwest. Right now, the entire town of Keller is under level 2 get set evacuations. That's for the Swawilla fire. So far, it has burned almost 7,300 acres and it is 0% contained at this hour. Take a look at this map. Level 2 evacuations in place for that entire area that is shaded in yellow. It is good to know also that the Keller Ferry remains closed tonight as crews continue to battle this fire. Officials say it was started by lightning last week. And fire crews in Idaho are making progress on the Texas fire burning in Latah County. All evacuations there have been lifted. That one is now 70% contained. The Latah County Sheriff's Office says it has burned about 1,500 acres and destroyed 4 homes. New video tonight of a suspected arson at Squeak's Car Wash on Spokane's South Hill. The fire was set early Friday morning, and you can see right there on your screen 2 people started that fire on the side of the building. Investigators say the car wash is connected to the Jiffy Lube and the Conoco gas station as well. You can see there the 2 suspects walking away from that fire. They were headed south on Regal. The fire department says it smoldered there for several hours before being called in by passing vehicles. This is the damage left behind. The car wash does remain closed today. Investigators say it's one of several arsons set on Spokane South Hill this month alone, including the one at Ace Hardware on the 4th of July. So if you have any information about any of those fires or any of those people believed to have started them, you're asked to please call the arson tip line, which is right there at the bottom of your screen. Well, a much needed break from the extreme heat. It's a welcome sign for crews who are battling wildfires all across the region tonight. Turning now to meteorologist Cody Proctor here in the studio with more on what we need to know for the rest of our week.
Well, those cooler temperatures are looking to stay with us for most of this week, Whitney, and we could even see those temperatures drop down to potentially the low 80s. Even right now, this is a big change for our current temperatures. We're at 88 degrees at the time over the Spokane airport, seeing a lot of sunshine across that area. Winds coming out of the southeast at 3 miles per hour right now. Over much of our region, we're mostly still hanging out into those 80s. A couple places are in the low 90s. That includes Omak and Lewiston right now. Moscow, you're at 83 degrees, currently at 88 in Deer Park. Current wind speeds, looks like we picked up a little bit around Wenatchee, but for much of our region, mostly seeing calm to light winds. We do have some watches and warnings, though, that are set to go into effect this week. There is a red flag warning for the Okanagan Valley as we head into tomorrow from 2 to 9 p.m. Thanks to those breezy winds and low humidity. We can also see those same conditions as we head into your Thursday, and that's prompting a fire weather watch right now from the National Weather Service for much of eastern Washington as well. Not the best news when you consider our drought monitor. We're ranging from that abnormally dry to severe drought conditions. The next 12 hours, though, at least for our overnight temperatures, we're dropping down to cooler overnight lows. In the next 3 days, take a look right here. Tomorrow, we could still be into the low 90s, could be even cooler for you Thursday and Friday.
My goodness. All right, Cody, thank you very much. Well, this November, Spokane County voters will see 2 very similar options on the ballot. The city and the county are both asking for sales taxes. Both would be 1/10 of 1%. The city of Spokane would use that tax money for community safety, including funding the police and the fire departments. The county would use its tax money to fund the juvenile detention center and the county jails. In our effort to bring you more to every story, KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy spoke with city council members about these 2 taxes and whether it will confuse voters and whether people will be willing to open their pockets for both of these measures. Shannon?
Yeah, we wanted to know if these 2 taxes would prove too much for voters already dealing with inflation and after last year's failure of a measure to build a new jail. It was top of mind last week.
It's a little bit challenging for me to support this effort at this time because I know that there are a lot of people out there that are hurting financially.
When Spokane County's commissioners approved adding a sales tax renewal to November's ballot, it was a hard ask for some. A hard ask for the city of Spokane, too.
Prepare to vote.
Because it's also asking voters to approve a 1/10% sales tax on the same ballot.
There should have been better coordination with the county. And in fairness, the county should have coordinated with us better last year when they were running their jail measure. Not a lot of collaboration there right now, unfortunately. But it could be something that drags both of them down.
Councilmember Jonathan Bingle believes the city's new tax will fail, in part because he says it's not clear enough what the money will be used for. The ballot will read, funding enhanced community safety and other public safety operations.
Well, what's been described to us as a major part of community safety, according to this council and this administration, is, solar panels and bike lanes. And I just don't think that that's what, the people have in mind when they think community safety.
Councilmember Zach Zappone wouldn't gaze into the crystal ball of how the vote could go, but he says this is a better option than a more expensive property tax council voted down in May.
So if you spend $50,000 in a year on taxable goods, so not groceries or medications or other items, but $50,000, you'd be paying $50 in taxes.
He says voters have been vocal about wanting more public safety.
Without this levy passing, there will be reductions. So to do any reductions in the city, we would have to be making reductions in services for police and fire.
The county's tax would continue funding juvenile detention and jails. Last year, a measure to build a new jail using a 2/10 sales tax failed. Bingle estimates if the county revisits that ask next year and the city's tax is approved, it could take away some ability to fund a new jail.
If I'm the Valley, why am I agreeing to 2/10 to give 60% of my 2/10 to the county, but the city of Spokane is giving 60% of 1/10 and then 15% of another 10th? I think it hurts our efforts with a jail region-wide.
Ultimately, voters will decide what they're willing to pay come November 5th. A spokesperson for Mayor Lisa Brown's office said they do plan to sit down with county leadership to discuss their shared community safety goals, but they declined to comment until that conversation happens. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you very much. Also last night, the Spokane City Council voted to indefinitely defer a resolution on whether the city should commit to enforcing a law banning camping in the city. That is following a recent U.S. Supreme Court decision. The Supreme Court ruled that local laws enforcing camping bans are not cruel and unusual punishment. The council says they will now address the camping ban resolution at a later date.